morning guys, welcome to Flory Models. Here we're on Monday the 10th of October 2016. What a weekend, busy weekend. As I say, a lot of you know we was out with Sid's stag do on Saturday night. Yeah, rough night, let's just put it like that. Okay, and then obviously last night we had the live show, so that's I think my voice is pretty much gone now. Don't feel exactly 100%. I don't think it's anything to do with alcohol. We had a bit of food poisoning, which was great. But anyway, all better now, getting there. Finished off this guy, or sort of, last night. Thank you so much for all your questions. Big thanks obviously to Hines for joining us, and obviously with Steve. Yes, we had a few little problems. Obviously the lag, I'm not sure why we had massive lag from Hines, but it is that thing, you're pushing the envelope of technologies, because obviously you've got his HD feed coming in obviously all the way from, you know, the mid US, and then obviously Steve's coming down to as well from northern to me, then it's being dispersed out, and I think all of that just is a little bit laggy. Trying to keep everything together is a little bit of a problem. We could probably downscope it instead of being in 1080 60 frames. I'm thinking if we lower the frame rate down to perhaps 720 30 frames, it might just give things a little bit more time. And not as much pressure trying to stream a high quality image and everything else like that. So I think that is definitely something we will try next time. Thank you so much for all your questions. Okay, we seem to get through loads. It's nice to see that Steve, obviously he managed to get a load of his answered as well, and with Hans as well, and Steve pushed on with his. We did have a little bit of trouble doing the green work on the top. Hopefully you can see that. Mine isn't too bad at all. I would say I'm quite happy how it turned out. It's not crystal clear, you know, as in you've got tiny little speckles in it and things like that. Again, I think it was because the air pressure should have been a little bit higher, so it's just a little bit of spitting down in the green work, but it has gone in, it has worked, and everything else. I fitted the side door somewhat in the open position. To be honest, it's not glued, so I can move it around as is required. Okay, so from my point of view, what I've got to do with this one is add the windscreens, add the doors, final little pitot tubes and all the little instrumentation, all the little aerials and everything else like that, and that will be finished. I'm thinking me and Steve are on about actually trying to do this, get these finished off perhaps on the Tuesday Q&A, so for tomorrow afternoon, and it will complete those, and then we can move on to the Boba Fett type things. Obviously we're both going to be doing the Bandai figures, and we're both going to be doing Slave 1. I've got another Slave 1 as well, I've got the little one as well, the Rebel one, so I might do that as well over the next few weeks for the Saturday shows. But again, thank you for joining us. We had a great turnout, and we had some really good questions, everything else like that. Me today, I'll be honest with you, I am so far behind with the editing. I've really got to get on with it, because we pushed on so well with this guy last week, and short of getting the other 2 coats of green on there, we almost had him finished, that I haven't actually edited any of the parts of this yet. I've done some preliminary trimming, but I haven't actually done the full edit to this yet. So what I've got to do is obviously get going with some editing. I'll probably get 2 parts of this edited, so you've got a part for this afternoon, and then obviously be another part ready for Wednesday to go, and then I'll probably spend tomorrow coming in and getting some green paint onto this, and then we can let that dry for a couple of days, get the metal work done, and then deckled and weathered, and we can really push on with this one. But this one's come together extremely quickly. As I said, I think if I had a little bit more time with it, probably could have got that done last week in 1 week, which would have been absolutely fantastic. So that's it from me. I'll catch you all at lunchtime. And there you go, and to be honest, that's about it. Haven't done much today at all. Been editing. We've actually been editing up this guy. So part 1 of this up is with you now. This is obviously the Mitsubishi F1 148 scale, and we talk about quite a lot in detail really about fitting all the major parts to this, and talking about flash and how a little bit of time spent working on the kit means less work later on. And to be honest, apart from a little styrene filler jobs here, there and everywhere, there's no real filler in this. Okay, we've been able to weld it together, sand, and then rescribe, re-rivet, and away we went with it. So very, very straightforward. So that is done and up with you now. You can see part 1 of that. Part 2 is going to literally, I just finished editing that as well. That's going to talk about obviously doing the rescribing work, really bunging it all together. So by part 3, we're off into the paint work, and you're catching up with me. So this is probably only going to be a 6-parter. So, you know, it's going to be quite a straightforward build with this one. We're going to work through it quite methodically, but quite quickly and easily. So really looking forward to actually getting the paint onto this one and getting it into weathering, so we can do some nice effects with that one. And obviously the painting way of doing it, we're doing a slightly different way of painting and things like that. The other thing as well is this guy. Obviously for you guys who joined us at the weekend last night, you would have seen me and Steve have basically finished this one off. So I've added a couple of little lights to it now. I've had a go at polishing this little bit of canopies at the top because they're still not perfect. So, but I think we're basically there now. I've got to do a couple of little touch-ups with some orange paint. Got to put the pitot tubes on, the windscreen wipers, and then fix the doors. You see I've got one door on, but I've got to do the others with this one, and then that one one is completed as well. So there we go, that's all really running ahead. Then we can start on the Gundam. So plan for tomorrow literally is going to be push on very heavily in the morning with some paint work onto that one, try and get all the paint work finished on there if I can, or certainly get all the camo work done, which we're going to look at. We're going to talk about different ways of doing camo, from tack worms to heavy, hardline masking, to softline masking, things like that. All right, so going to get that one done, and then that will allow us at the end of the week to push on with the Gundam, which I'm really looking forward to, so I can focus effects onto that one as we make our way through. One little thing, obviously I was with John at the weekend and he has left me this kit, which is an absolute stunner. So expect to have the review of this guy up this week. So this is the 172nd Hines, which are the Vesda ones, with all the, obviously the Edar goodies, and there's a big book in there and it weighs a ton. It's a limited edition. I haven't got one, but John has, bless him. So great job on that one, and we're going to do a review on that. So really not much to think. Thank you for all the kind feedback about spray booths and everything else like that, extraction fans and alike. The thing is, a couple of things obviously we spoke about a little bit on Friday. People are still sending me stuff saying, oh, you could use this fan and all the rest of it. Don't forget, they have to be rated for flammables. So it's no point sending me just about exhaust fans for various things. They have to be sealed units, obviously brushless, things like that, because otherwise they're going to, there is the potential, I'm not saying it's going to, there is the potential for them to catch fire, because obviously it's sucking through and all it needs is a spark and away you go, because obviously I am spraying a lot of lacquer through it these days and stuff like that. So it's all very well sending me, oh, this is a great fan, it shifts 8 million, going to pull the skid off a rice pudding, but unfortunately if it's not sealed, it's not actually a sealed fan unit, then it could obviously be a fire risk. So that's why we tend to use these types of fans that we're using. But anyway, I'm still waiting for something like Graphic Air to get back to me. They haven't got back to me actually. I'm going to have to check on that, check the emails on that one. But as far as I know, they haven't got back to me as of yet. I'm still waiting to see what they say about it, and then I'll make a decision from there. But thank you. A couple of you have also sent me plans and sketches and stuff for your particular ones and how to modify for this one. We also talk about draft ones, which are the ones which have the vent at the bottom, which is a great idea as well. I love the idea, but that means I'd have to drill holes in the bottom of this. But if it's going to be permanent, it's not so bad. But if you wanted something perhaps for yourselves that you might want to move around at a later date, you probably don't want to be going down that route. But there we go. That's it from me. Go off and have a look at the Mitsubishi F1 tonight. Remember, tomorrow afternoon, around about 2 o'clock, we're going to be live, me and Steve, for doing Tuesday's Q&A. So you can either help us out with it live, or if not, obviously the recording will be up by 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So there we go. That's it from me. Happy modelling. Take care.